Order, please. This regular meeting of the Johnson Water District Board of Directors for September 6th is now in session at 5:32. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Item 2, consideration of teleconferencing notifications and requests from board members. General Manager Johnson.
We have a request for David Vick to be remote today due to personal illness. So take a roll call vote to accept him as a on the board remotely.
Very well. Thank you very much. Determination of quorum. General Manager Johnson, roll call, please.
With the previous item, the consideration of teleconferencing, we'll need to do a roll call for consideration of
Really?
yes.
Well, it's the first time we've done this.
It is the first. It is. That's right. So you get a motion and a second and a roll call.
So is there a motion to
Go move.
approve
Approve the request, yeah. I'll second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll third.
Second? So we got a second and third.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
President Flowen,
Aye.
Vice President Doolittle,
Aye.
Director Charlesburg,
Yes.
Director Shorts.
Aye.
Very good. Welcome, David. Thank you for joining us remotely.
So now we're doing the quorum thing also? Or was that the quorum thing?
I think we should do, we're gonna have to do roll call on all these because we do have one remote member, so we should.
Okay, so we do the,
For formality purposes, we'll do it for him.
okay, determination of quorum. General Manager Johnson, a roll call, please.
President Flowen,
Present.
Vice President Doolittle.
Here.
Director Fick,
Here.
Director Charlesburg,
Here.
Director Short.
Here.
Very good.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum. Approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for this evening?
So moved. I'll second.
Thank you very much. General Manager Johnson, a roll call, please.
President Flowen,
Aye.
Vice President Doolittle,
Aye.
Director Fick.
Here.
Director Charlesburg,
Yes.
Director Short.
Aye. Thank you very much. Motion carried. Item 5, public comment. This is a time set aside for public comment on any district-related matter, whether appearing on the agenda or not. Under the provisions of the Round Act, the board is prohibited from taking action on items not listed on the agenda. At the discretion of the board president, however, comments on a particular agendized item may be deferred until that item is heard. Do we have a public comment this evening? Yes, ma'am.
You want to recognize her?
Hi, I'm Deborah Bollinger. I've been a ratepayer for 24 years, and I have a couple of quick comments. First, I'd like to thank the board and management for making a YouTube video of the July 19 meeting available. That was great. I hope you've got more to come. I know that it's hard for people, and especially working people, when meetings are scheduled during the daytime, and even 5:30 is tough. Videos make meetings accessible to everyone, and I just think it will go far to building relationships. I'm glad to see the YouTubes. Thank you. But secondly, I want to thank Director Doolittle for presenting data on climate change in Joshua Tree. That was great information, along with common sense steps that the district can take to prepare for a hotter world with increased water and power demands. I think the community needs to hear that Joshua Basin is looking ahead and planning for it. For climate change, that it's prepared. I think solar energy is a logical place to start. We put solar panels on our own and seen that it pays off. Why hasn't the district done the same? I've wondered this for such a long time. For my home, it started with an energy use history and an energy audit. Then we worked on energy efficiency projects so that we didn't have to buy as many solar panels to power our home. Our the payback period in just 7 years, and he was right on target. It paid off 3 years ago. So I think that rooftop solar is an investment that pays off. I hope that the district will consider that and do its part to address climate change and also remove the uncertainty of volatile energy costs that we've seen for decades now. Why wouldn't our district be interested in doing that? Why the concern over costs, which are legitimate, but without looking at the benefits, at the return, the short payback period, the just certainty of future costs? I just don't understand that. Other districts are taking action. Since Director Doolittle presented her report on July 19, High Desert Water District has announced first steps for their transition to solar. We know that 29 Palms is going solar. Coachella Valley Water District has invested in solar. The MWA, the Mojave Water Agency, had a plan years ago. I really think that Director Flowen was right on the 19th when he said that the district is falling behind. I submit that it's time to correct course. We all want to have confidence that Joshua Basin Water District is up to the climate change challenges that lie ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. General Manager Johnson, are there written, electronic, or voicemail public comments?
None to my knowledge.
Thank you very much. Public comment time is now closed. Am I seeing that we have nothing on the consent calendar?
That's correct.
Thank you very much. And now, item 8, Utility Cost Management LLC. UCM findings. General Manager Johnson, please.
Oh, very good. Thank you. And good evening, everybody. You remember a few months ago, the board in May engaged in a contract with UCM, which is Utility Cost Management, to analyze the district's electricity, gas, and waste billings and identify charges that do not comply with rules and regulations under the state of California. UCM has completed the analysis, and tonight we have Greg Normert here to give us the findings of that report. So, Greg, if you would please.
Sure. Thanks, Sarah. Happy to do this for you in the district, Sarah. Our analysis, well, first I'd say the district is considering the amount that you spend on electricity. The district has done a very good job of keeping the rates minimized. We were able to find 3 accounts where we can save the district money, and the total amount that we are estimated savings, annual estimated savings, is about $8,500 per year. 2 of those accounts we've begun the implementation process, and those should take effect on your bill. We're hoping the next billing cycle. And then the third one was just an account that showed no usage, that they were charging us $700 a month for. And so just today we went ahead and closed that account. So from here on out, you will save about $8,500 per year.
Thank you. We appreciate that. So we were hoping for more, but the good news is that it shows that there's been a lot of due diligence with keeping on top of these bills. So the one account that was open was our old well 11 site, which is no longer in use, and it was kept in electricity was kept there for a couple of different reasons. But after some analysis, we decided that it's okay to go ahead and shut that account off to save those extra dollars. So we're excited. I wish it was a little bit more, but I'm glad that it wasn't in the other sense, because it means that we didn't have a lot of loss. So thank you, Greg. I appreciate your time. We're open to any questions.
Sure thing.
Questions from the board? Vice President Doolittle?
Nothing for me.
David Fick, anything from you?
Muted.
You're on mute, Mr. Vick.
What is the history of well 11? How old is it and how long has it been abandoned?
Good question. I don't have the answer to presently, and my director of ops is out sick. But it's been offline for quite a number of years, but that site has been used for testing. And that's one of the reasons that the power was left on, and it's a site that we utilize for other things as well. But we're not utilizing it to the same extent as my understanding, so we decided it was in our best interest to go ahead and close that account.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Director Jarlsberg?
Just a couple of quick things. I want to remind folks that UCM has taken a portion of our savings for the first few years. I forget, three. Yeah. So they're not gonna get much either.
No,
Sorry, you guys. But I was just thinking that the amount that we are saving might help cover some solar expense. It's common.
Director Short?
No comment.
Well, I don't know if our electric cost of electricity for pumping. I was looking for I'm pretty sure the exact number is $340,000 a year for electricity for
Oh.
pumping.
Mm.
That we ought to just count ourselves lucky that we have the 8K savings on the 340,000. That's budgeted, which is an estimate, of course. Those are always estimates. I'm glad we're doing it. A lot of times, success can be a grand thing where you can have a parade and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes successes are stitched together by doing a series of small things.
Yeah,
And this could count towards that type of a thing too. And why give Edison $8,000 that we don't have to give
Yeah.
Edison? It's a principle of the thing too.
the good news is it's year after year. So after those 3 years that UCN gets that little portion, the district will retain that portion, for as long as we have those accounts. It's until the next rate change.
Yeah, thank you very much. And now, low income household water assistance program. That is presented by Director of Administration, David Shook. Good point.
There is a short PowerPoint that I'd like to share with you all as well. All right. Good evening, everyone. You have my report as written, but like I said, I also have a short presentation to share some of the highlights regarding our LEWOP events. LEWOP came about to assist customers with past due water bills. And LEWOP does stand for Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. So you can go to the next one.
Hit begin slideshow, top. Slideshow. The very top, middle. Very top. Oh.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
Next one. Perfect. All right, so two members of the Community Action Partnership of San Bernardino County, also known as CAP SBC, came to visit and assisted our customers in completing the LEWOP documentation that's required to submit to the state for processing. So a couple of the highlights here. We had 87 visitors to the district in this actual room. Family, friends, and supporters of actual customers came in. I have a feeling that donuts and coffee may have played a role in that. We were able to help assist 51 customers. And the total in assistance is $47,828. And just to note on this slide that that figure is rounded up, but the actual number is in the staff report. Here we have some overall figures for the 3 events together, and I'll break them down individually in just a few minutes. So LEWOP, what we discovered is that we had been providing our customers with an online link to go and apply, and we were receiving very few of them. And what we discovered was that the application in whole was 17 or 18 pages of extremely complicated and very intimidating paperwork. So it's no surprise that our customers weren't wanting to complete that. So what we did was reach out to a county point of contact who provided information for CAP SBC. I reached out to them and was able to schedule a couple staff of theirs to come up and help our customers get the assistance that they needed. And in doing so, we learned that the LEWOP portion of this 17 or 18 page document was only 3 pages. So quite a bit less, and that worked out well. So once again, 47,878 in assistance that was provided to our customers, those 51 individuals. One person actually came to visit. That's a customer of High Desert Water District, and the CAP SBC individuals helped that person as well, and that amount was $298 for that person. The overall average was $937.80. The lowest amount was $269. The highest being $6,975.28. All customers needed to do was come and grab a free donut and a free cup of coffee and bring in current government issued identification, a current water bill, and the past 4 weeks of income, and various types and sources of income were all accepted. And like I mentioned, we offered free coffee and donuts as an incentive to encourage participation. So event 1 and 2 both had customers overflowing from the lobby prior to the start times. It was quite a sight to see, setting up the room and watching the cars flow in. So, go to the next one. All right, LEWOP events 1 and 2 on June 20th, 2023. Our lobby was packed full of eager people. We had 40 visitors. And on this event, we had 23 customers that were assisted for a total of $16,538.54. The average per customer on this day was $719.06. The low for that day was 323 and the high was 2,272. LEWOP event 2, we rearranged the room to allow customers access to the desks to complete their portion of the document. So as each event rolled through, we became more and more efficient at being hosts. July 20th, we had 35 visitors and 22 customers assisted. The total for that day was $17,384.26. The average per customer, $790.19. The low for that day, $269. The high, $1,197.29. LEWOP event 3. By the time event 3 came about, we were professional hosts, and this took place on August 10th. This one, we only had 12 visitors. I believe it was due to the short time in between 2 and 3. We weren't able to get as many campaigns out to the customers. However, we did have 6 customers assisted for a total of $13,905.05. The average per customer this day was $2,317.50. The low, $353, and the high, we had an individual for $6,975.23. And like I mentioned, at the end of event 2, we learned that the program had been extended in an attempt to use up the allocated funding. So we quickly scheduled event 3 with CAP SBC, which also yielded great results. And we just learned that the LEWOP was once again extended to the end of 2023, and now it has been extended to the end of spring 2024 to use allocations. San Bernardino County has approximately 1.7 million allocated to continue this program, and the state's remaining allocation is 43.9 million. So we're hoping we can schedule a few more events and get our customers more help. This was definitely a team effort, and we all did our part to make the community and CAP FBC guests feel welcome. General Manager Sarah took the time to come in and greet people and introduce herself to CAP FBC staff and to our customers. Our staff was extremely helpful in assisting the customers with correct bills that were needed to provide to the members of CAP SBC. Danny and Tawny helped with making copies of documentation, setting up and breaking down the room. And it was definitely a team effort that truly provided customer support. To reach our customers, we sent out notices via constant contact email campaign. We had signs and flyers in and outside the office and in the field with our field staff and in the parking lot as well. So Mercedes, our billing and customer support supervisor, discovered that those participating in payment plans needed some extra attention, and she helped get those customers squared away so that we could provide the CAP SBC individuals the information that they needed to help those customers specifically. Field staff provided LEWAP flyers all summer to encourage customers to come in and get assistance from this program. And the CAP SBC employees told us multiple times that our office had the best accommodations and treated them the best out of anywhere they had been. After the first event, they asked that we request them by name for any future events, and we did so. Just to finish up, thank you, Joshua Basin, for the opportunity to schedule these events and provide a venue in which to hold them. For a small public outreach investment of just over $200, we, along with the help of CAP SBC, were able to save our customers nearly $50,000. Thank you to all of staff who helped put these events.
Thank you, David. And thank you to David for really making this thing get kicked off. It was a bumpy start. I don't think a lot of other agencies participated in the way that we did, but like he said, he became our staff was a professional host. So it was really good. And I really hope this will help our customers first, and second, our bad debt next year should have.
Director comments, Vice President Doolittle.
Briefly, I have a few questions. I'd just like to say first, this was a great written report. I really like the personal style of it. And anyway, so that was very nice. I don't recall how this LEWAP project started briefly, just like.
It actually began before David started here.
Okay.
Lisa was in customer service, and there was an application that we had to submit to the county, and Lisa submitted that on the district's behalf to make us a participant. You couldn't do that. You couldn't participate without applying. So that's how it began.
And this community action partnership with San Bernardino County. So where's the funding coming from for this?
That's well, from what I gather, it's federal monies that are a state pass through. Is that the
Yeah,
term?
that's right.
Okay.
And then the county sets it out to that community action partnership.
Okay.
And now there's a dashboard where we can actually see what every other county is going to be getting with that extension.
So what percentage of a bill would be covered by these monies for a customer?
100%.
100% of the bill. Okay, so
Yes.
yeah. So somehow I missed that.
So that was one of the problems that Mercedes caught, is that if a customer was proactive, was on a payment plan with us, they were only wanting to pay that month's arrearage.
Oh.
But their payment plan was for several months behind. So with Mercedes stepping in, she really found out that that whole balance could get paid off.
Wonderful. So I know I heard you say that we would be doing some again, but you're talking about next year, next fiscal year. No, there's funds left for this year.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, because I was wondering if we did enough. So, who knows, right?
This will probably be we're not sure the duration because it does take quite a bit of effort, but it will definitely be a regular event until those monies run out.
I just have a few more questions. One is, I would encourage the district to consider a wider media, blitz, not that that's the terrible word, sorry. But, campaign or whatever for this in the future or next time. Also, I hope somebody's done a press release on it. I think it's, a very important thing that the community would be very interested in reading. And then I have one last thing. I know it's just a round number when we say it's donuts and coffee and stuff, but obviously we did spend some money on in kind. And I do see that on our project. So I just wanted to flag that. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Director Fick?
Yes, I would think that, yes, it needs more publicity as far as the results that we had with about 50 customers. If we have 5,400 households, I'm pretty sure there's a bit more in need of help. And it sounds like the process was streamlined and it sounds successful with the ones that did get it. But I think we can have a better effort on publicizing this low income situation. But overall, it's good so far.
Thank you very much, Director Jarlsberg.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions. Are these all past due accounts, or could this be a current bill that's big?
It can be a current bill that's, it started off as past due, and then they also incorporated past due and current.
Okay, do you have an idea how past due these ones that benefited were? Were they more than a month or two, or
Months and months. and years.
sometimes? What?
The ones
Some
that,
years?
yeah, the ones that were still in the process of the moratorium for cutoffs for non-payment. those accounts, a lot of those got caught up too.
Okay. And I wondered if you knew if anybody was turned away that couldn't get fit in or something. Did you get calls from people that couldn't make it, or?
There were a few that didn't meet the income qualifications,
Mhm.
so they had to come in and they turned in their documentation and they had to be turned away for that
Okay.
reason. A few others had come in and they had forgotten their ID. That's not something that we can replicate here, and they said, I'm gonna run home and grab it, and then didn't come back.
Okay, so there's still people out there that wanted to participate.
Yes, and we did try to reach out to them and say,
Yeah,
they're still here until 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. to see if they would
Yeah.
come back.
And we've actually been helping people even when the event is not here. We can still help in the intermediate time. So if somebody wants that help, we can help them through the process.
okay, I think that's all
Director
thank you
Short?
very much.
What are the income requirements?
I don't know those specifically. They have a rubric that they have physically with them that they match all the information up. I don't have those
Okay,
memorized.
that's all right. That's all I want to know.
Well, I just thought of another quick thing. Is there a minimum of a bill that you can apply, or could it be a fairly small bill? They just couldn't afford it.
It could be a fairly small bill.
Yeah, okay, even though they were substantial bills, obviously.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really glad we do this kind of thing. It's something where everybody's a winner. The ratepayers are getting that income back into the system again, and the people that are struggling are being assisted. It shows that the people, if it's the feds to the county or the state to the county, whoever it was, it shows that they're being responsive, I think, to the people that are having the hardest time getting along. I think it's just a good thing. I think that the press release, I noticed the general manager made a note that would also be a way of promoting that we will be doing it again sometime to sensitize another segment of the community that either reads the paper or listens to the radio station, that kind of thing, for whenever this pops up again. So it's, I mentioned this at finance, but the thing about the donuts and beverages and all of that, symbolically, it is, I think, important to demonstrate that we're being respectful to people by making them welcome in their community-owned offices here at the district. That we were being With that, we demonstrate that we're being courteous and respectful, and then we're not just throwing the door open for beggars to come in here and get free money kind of a thing. And when I was here, I forgot why I was in the offices on one of those days. But I saw the operation taking place here. Did those folks from the county bring their own equipment, or was that our equipment? There was a photocopy machine right there.
Yeah, we provided a printer for them to use and they brought their own.
A printer so that they wouldn't have to drive one up.
Uh,
They had laptops, and the printer was just for copies, so they didn't need to connect to it.
no.
So,
Yeah, it was an orderly, well-done thing that I thought, just in the time you and I were standing right there. Looking the thing over. It's just a good thing all the way around, and I'm looking forward to us participating in such a thing again, using our facilities for such a thing. These two preceding items, by the way, were for informational purposes only on subjects not covered by the agenda. No action will be taken. The board may provide staff with requests for future agenda items. Now at 6:02. We're gonna enter into this is item 10. We're gonna have a closed session. It's gonna be a conference.
Oh,
What?
9.
Oh, I made a boo-boo. Thank you. It's closed session time, correct?
It's section 9 informational items and reports, and then we'll go into closed session.
Oh, yeah, I'm just being dumb. Thank you.
Well, I'm not gonna disagree. I mean. in the
No,
moment.
I appreciate the help. I need a lot of it. This is General Manager's report. General Manager Johnson, please.
Well, thank you again. Tonight, I just have a short report. I'm returning from the CSDA annual conference in Monterey. It was one of my favorite conferences. I learned so many things and excited to bring back not too many tasks, but a few. We had the most amazing keynote speaker out of any conference I've been to. He was my number one. Fantastic speaker that taught leaders how to create stories to help your public understand your business better. So I found it fascinating. So if you'd like, I can share offline some of the things I learned on that.
Love it.
I have been in a couple of meetings. This week was the second or third with Mojave Water Agency. We are working on that pipeline agreement, the one that expired with the bond payoff last year. So we're finally starting to make some headway on that. It will probably be several months out. I'll be back and forth from here to Apple Valley in those negotiations with the contracts. But as soon as we get a little bit more information on that, we'll be bringing it to the board and of course to the Pipeline Commission. And the last thing on my list tonight is the low income assistance program that the district sponsors through United Way of the Desert has merged. And did you want to talk about that?
sure. We got a notice that United Way of the Desert has merged with Inland SoCal United Way. So the day that we got that notification, we updated the website with the correct links, and all the information is the same. It just takes them in a slightly different in that path.
That is the end of my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I do the closed session now?
Director's comments and reports.
I don't know why I'm stumbling over item number, whatever it is.
Good block.
Maybe I'm dehydrated.
Have the same agenda we have?
Vice President Doolittle, if you please.
I don't believe I have any comments. Let me see. Have I attended a meeting that I forgot to report on? Sorry, I didn't even think about that. I don't believe that there's anything. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to report.
Thank you. Director Fick?
Yeah, two things. One is, it's a regional concern, is that recently our county got into an agreement with Cadiz and the Finner nonprofit group and such like that with the JPA, Joint Powers Authority, that what it does is it enables Cadiz to have more financial opportunities to further their project. And that's a concern. Joshua Basin Water District did have a resolution against the Cadiz project of old, which was 1999. So I don't know if we want to revisit this regional concern, but that is a concern. Now, as far as, I'll be done with that. Oh, by the way, that's how come I have my condition of COVID, because I was at a meeting where it was a spreading of COVID at the land use open house on August 30th. So anyway, next item would be on solar energy with the Joshua Basin Water District. I was on a ad hoc commission that was put together in late 2017 by General Manager Kurt Sauer, and he had a $20,000 grant, and it was to investigate how the water district could improve its energy use and gain. What he ended up finding out was if he had 8 acres of solar panels, he could offset what the energy used by Joshua Basin Water District does, which would be awkward because we just been through this big battle with the JP Solar project, and but he was looking to see about gaining solar power. And back then there were 2 contractors to do the study, or I guess we call them consultants, and the first consultant did it wrong, and the second one poo-pooed the whole first consultant situation. And then all the solar energy incentive grants that California was giving dried up. So that sort of dried that, and eventually I think COVID brought an end to that situation. So it should be revisited. That's partly why the adjacent parcel to your office where you are right now was purchased to the west of you, because that was concerned that it's land that is sort of awkwardly owned because it has a flood path going through it, and it could be used for solar panels and parking and stuff like that. So it's a long story. I'll probably get back to it later. But anyway, those are my 2 sets of comments.
Thank you very much, Director Jarlsberg.
Yeah, couple of things. I did want to mention I attended the Basin-wide awards dinner on the 24th of August. Not necessarily on behalf of the board, but there were plenty of people there that we like to network with. And Glenn Harris was awarded an award that was pretty special for above and beyond. I actually would prefer that Sarah would have been nominated, but but that didn't happen. But anyway, that was an interesting event, and worth going to. And the other thing that we had intended to go to was the ASBCSD dinner in Yucaipa, but something weird happened that day. Called a hurricane or
Hurricane.
earthquake in
Yeah.
hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah, earthquake. It was. And I said, we just can't make it. It's, it doesn't make any sense. Plus, it turned out there were lots of roads that were closed. But she wrote me, I wrote afterwards and said, how did people show up? How was it? And she said it was wonderful and they had a good speaker. And I was thinking, I'm hoping they have the speaker again. But it shows some of these special district people are just, doers, not sitters. So a lot of people showed up to that in spite of the crazy weather. And I'm sure we'll go to the next one, or I'm hoping to. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Director Short.
I did not attend any meetings over this time, and no further comments.
Oh, my turn. Thank you. Yeah, I did a few things too. I was at that Basin-wide Foundation Award ceremony too. With regard to Glenn Harris, all they had to do in the beginning there was just say his name and the place went crazy. He's an extremely popular guy, and at least in that group there. And I think we're lucky to have him as Don Rouse representative up in our area up here. One thing about him too that impresses me is that he always looks like he's really tired. And I think it's because of the size of the area and the number of things that he's responsible for monitoring and attending up here. But I thanked her, I think about a year ago now, at this same event in Yucca Valley. I thanked her, Don Ralph, for appointing him in the first place. I said,
Oh,
thank you for Glenn, is what I said.
Yeah.
And that was heartfelt too. I noticed his presence even back then. I also went to a Mojave Water Agency meeting, but there wasn't so much that was that I could apply here that would have been of interest. I went to Copper Mountain Mesa last Saturday too, which took far longer than I thought it would. The intent was to talk about their loan payment, which I see that I just signed the check tonight. It's for $160,000 payment on their bond, which I assume because our staff did a bond call and made a preemptive payment. I don't know what the term for it would be, which was substantial over time. Some of these amounts that they're going to have to pay, which a major portion of it is interest, 4+% interest on the loan. I think I was able to bring up some of that stuff too, to where we're just not reflexively making these payments and moving on. We're seeing what we can do to manipulate the situation to make it better for them up there over the long term with regard to getting through this. Because this is just on this $160,000 is one of two payments that have to be made, one in March and one in September of this same amount, I think. So it's a lot of money, and I'm in some ways I was able to make light of it too, but still they pay that on through their property tax. We don't just split the camera. No. Do you have a comment on any of that?
Well, I just wanted to mention that I'm going to start bringing an annual report about CMM. That's never been done before, other than the one that I did, just because we were looking into that bond call, and I had brought a report because of that. But we do get an annual report that's prepared. It's a required disclosure that's prepared by NBS every year. And so I'm going to bring that to the board within the next couple of months, along with an update to that information that you have from our previous presentation. The payment today that you saw is a principal and interest payment. The other payment, I believe, is just interest. Is that right? Yeah.
Just interest?
It's just interest. Yeah, the other payment that falls in March. So, yeah.
But it was a good meeting up there. It was I think I was gone from the market for something like 3 hours.
Forever.
Yeah, thank you. I needed a couple of it just now, so I appreciate that. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. Closed session. We're going to have a closed session now. It's a conference with labor negotiators, such as agency designated representative Sarah Johnson and unrepresented employees. That means, I guess, there's no union here.
Yeah.
Is that open to any of the employees? I see this all district employees here. Is it open to all?
Except for myself, because I'm under contract.
Yeah. That's cool. There's open meeting laws, and we were allowed to have closed sessions for certain specific kinds of things. And this one, labor type stuff, is in the California Government Code section 54957.6 that we can do that. So at 6:16, we are in closed session.